So I want to share something with you today, and I want you to write it down. Here it comes. Being thankful for what we have turns what we have into enough. Did you get that? Being thankful for what we have turns what we have into enough. So welcome to Hanging Out with Popsie Guy. Today, it's something that's been on my mind for a while, and I think most of you can understand where I'm coming from. That we live in a society that continually caters to our wants, not our needs, right? If you stop to think about it, if you're watching this video, you truly have everything you need. I have everything I need. I have a place to live. I have food to eat. I do this every morning when I wake up. Before I put my feet on the floor, I thank God, number one, for a new day. But number two, the little things like a comfortable bed to sleep in, a nice warm shower. There's a silver box in the kitchen. When I open the door, it's full of food. When I need to go somewhere, I go to my car. If I need to wear something, I open my closet and there are the clothes that I need. So there's really nothing that I need. And I thank God for that because He provides all our needs. The problem is that you and I are facing, and this is what I want you to teach the next generation, is that there's a huge difference between what we need and what we want. So being thankful for what we have turns what we have into enough. Now, I know you don't really care about this, but everything I'm wearing right now, and I wasn't going to admit this, and if you had caught me 15, 20, 25 years ago, I would have denied it. Everything I'm wearing right now comes from Walmart. You know why? And I've said it in previous videos. I don't really care what people think about me anymore. Yes, I want people to think well of me, but I don't want people who are judgmental by nature. We all are. Try not to shake your head and say that you're not. I can tell that you're not. See, that's being judgmental. I'm judging you without even meeting you. But I don't really care if people look at me and say, "Whoa, oh my word, would you buy all that at Walmart?" Well, say yes, thank you very much. And I did splurge today, and this is going to be a confession from Popsie Guy. I went out and I bought myself a brand new pair of sunglasses. These sunglasses. At Walmart, $6.21. These are fishing glasses. And I love polarized glasses because they do something for me, which hopefully if you wear them, you understand. They take the glare away, right? So you can buy these sunglasses in the fishing department at your local Walmart for $6. Now, years ago when I thought I was making tons of money and I could do what I wanted, I went out and bought a pair of Ray-Bans, right? Because that's a status symbol. I know Ray-Bans, Oakleys, there's Shady Rays, there's a certain amount of sunglasses that people wear just so that people see them wearing them and think, wow, you got it all together, you must have money. Well, that was me about 15 years ago. I went out and spent, I think it was like $150, almost $200 on a pair of Ray-Bans. I still have the receipt downloaded to my OneDrive file on my computer. And every time I scroll by and I see that, I laugh. Because you may or may not understand this. When you buy a pair of sunglasses for that much money, you're almost guaranteed to lose them real quick. And I lost mine probably within the first 30 days that I had them. Right? I mean, think about it. I spent almost $200 on a pair of sunglasses, didn't even last me 30 days. Do the math. That's not good financial management. But my point is this, and I've said this in other videos, we all go through a time in our lives, and this is why it's good for you to have this perspective when you're talking to Gen Zers, or the next generation. We all go through this time in our life where we think people will admire us more if we dress a certain way, if we drive a certain car, if we have a certain size home. People will think well of us. Well, in this day and age, and it hasn't changed even when I was young, most people don't have the money to keep up that facade, that lifestyle. So they need to borrow the money to buy the nice car, borrow the money to buy the nice house, put the credit card out to buy the nice clothes, and then all of a sudden you're going into a situation that I call stupid, kind of silly, right? You're borrowing money that you don't have to buy things that you don't need to impress people that you don't like. So if nothing else, you're having a conversation with someone in the Gen Z or younger, generation, use that line. They'll get it, right? Because they're in a situation now where they're seeing the cost of living going through the roof, and they don't even have jobs yet. I mean, how many times can you turn on the news or YouTube or social media and the Gen Z generation is completely wiped out before they even get started? Some of them, it's because they were never taught that being thankful for what they have turns what they have into enough. So that's basically the financial wisdom of the day when you're spending time, experience, knowledge, wisdom, and encouragement with the younger people that are in your life, because they need that right now. And you need it as well. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm not talking to you just so you can talk to Gen Zs. I'm talking to you. Right now, you don't have to try to impress anybody. If you're at my age, which is the early 60s, I'm 63, those days are gone, right? You can go to Walmart and dress yourself head to toe. I mean, this hat that I got, Tennessee Volunteers, go Vols, whooped up on Syracuse this weekend, by the way. Walmart, $10. I could have gone to the bookstore on the campus at the University of Tennessee when I was there and paid, what, $30, $35, $40 for a hat? Why? I mean, it's got the same colors, the same tee. Nobody comes up to me and says, oh my, that's a Walmart hat. Nor would they come up to me and say, oh my, you got that hat at the pro shop. So I hope you see where I'm coming from. And here's a final financial tip if you are talking to Gen Zers and you want to help them get ahead before it's too late. And this is pure Popsie Guy. You can't Google this. If you do Google it, I didn't Google it because it's pure me. I came up with this on my own, so if it does exist, I didn't rip it off. Tell them about buying a new car. And I don't mean a brand new car, because that's not what they want to do. And you don't want to let them even think that. The worst thing that they could do is think that they need a new car at that age. Here's the deal. Used car, if they're of driving age, obviously if they need a car, tell them to look for a car that is made in the same year they were born. Try that. You know why? Because those are the cars that they'll most likely be able to afford. If they can't afford it themselves, they'll certainly get help from somebody in their family, a parent or a grandparent, who would love to help them get started without being saddled with debt. And most of the cars in the age group that those kids are in, they're well over 10 years, right? Some of them are pushing 20 years. That's okay. You can find a good car, a 15-year-old car, for $3,000 or $4,000, pay cash and not be in debt. Now, don't come at me in the comments and say, yes, but if you buy a car like that, it's going to have 150,000 miles on it. It's going to need all kinds of work. You might as well just finance a new car, buy the warranty, and be done with it. No, don't do that. That's what the new dealer wants you to do, but I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do it for yourself, and I don't want you to give that advice to somebody else, because the only one that makes out well there, you got it, is the car dealer. And I've said this to my kids when they were growing up, and I think now that they're older and they have their own kids, they understand what I meant when I said car companies, appliance companies, washers, dryers, refrigerators, furniture companies, they're not in the business to sell cars, appliances, and furniture. They're in the business to sell money, right? Especially now where this is the Labor Day weekend. We're going to be coming into so many sales. Make sure you get your bedroom set this weekend at Labor Day prices. And then we're going to go into all kinds of great times to buy these big ticket items. And you're going to walk in and they're going to say, well, how much do you want to spend every month? And something that you need to know, and I know you know this, but never let somebody go into a new car dealership and answer the question, what's your budget? How much do you want to spend a month? Don't answer that question. Just don't do it, because now you'll never know the true cost of the price or the price of the car that you're trying to buy. They're going to finagle it. Wow, look at those fish jump. They're going to finagle it so that whatever number comes out of their mouth, magically they're going to find the car to do that. And it may be $800 a month for 7 years, but hey, you told me $800 a month is your budget. Or $350 for 14 years, or whatever silly number they come up with, because they're not making a lot of money on the car. Yes, there is some incentives they get from the manufacturer. Yeah, there are all kinds of side deals that they get that you don't see. but they also make money on the financing. When they refer or even own their own financing arm, they're actually making money there. And that's a recurring revenue stream. And I'm not going to go down the business rabbit, excuse me, business rabbit trail, but recurring revenue is really where a good business thrives. If you just sold cars one time and made $1,000, you got to do that every single day. Every single day is January 1st. But if you're able to sell the warranty, all the add-ons to the car, and also the financing that occurs, now you're making a huge profit on every car, even if the consumer who buys the car thinks they got a deal. Anyway, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. I just want you to remember that if you live in this country, you are blessed. If you have a roof over your head, I don't care what the roof is. If it's a mobile home, if it's a trailer, if it's a 10-room, 5-bedroom, bathroom house, you have a roof over your head. My guess is that you've got more than enough food to eat, and most of us eat too much food. You've got nice, clean clothes to choose from, and more than likely you've got not one, but maybe even two nice, comfortable beds to choose from. Oh, and don't forget the 55-inch TV that you might have in every room. Not you, but a lot of people do. You don't need all that stuff. You want all that stuff. As we get older, we don't need it. We can get by with one car, one TV, one refrigerator. We don't need the freezer in the garage, unless you're still raising a huge family that eats a lot. But by and large, people in our age group can do so much on so little. And it's really not minimalism, as I've come to know. It's just understanding that being thankful for what you have turns what you have into enough. So that's it from Popsie Guy today. Thank you very much for hanging out with me on this Labor Day weekend on the beach. I'm actually on the bay side. It's not the bay side, it's the Intracoastal. Only because the beach side, which is up and over those sand dunes, it's a little crazy. Maybe Tuesday I'll come back, shoot another video from that side, because I'm almost sure Tuesday after Labor Day, I'll be the only one on the beach. And if it's a nice day, I want you to join me. So thanks again. If you like this content, feel free to like. I'd love a new subscriber or even comments. Anything like that would help me out. So thanks again, and we'll see you soon.